welcome to our weekly session where we discuss about the various different projects that our data specialists here at 360DigiTMG have completed. The idea behind sharing these projects is to make you familiar with the challenging problems that you will be facing. Okay, so here, before we jump into the project, right, I have a question for everyone. We have two people. We have Mr. and Mrs. A, and we have Mr. and Mrs. 360, right? Now, Mr. and Mrs. A, they've been trained at XYZ Institute, and they have worked on dummy projects like Kaggle, GitHub, etc. Whereas Mr. and Mr. 360, they have been trained at 360DigiTMG. They have worked on challenging real-time projects. They have attended daily stand-up calls. They have created end-to-end data pipeline. They have done deployment on cloud and on-premise. And they have attended client calls. And finally, they've had the opportunity to attend their they have the opportunity to present their research paper on international journals. Okay. So, which one of these resumes will get shortlisted? So, without any further delays, right, let us get into it and let us start talking about the project today. And presenting us this project today, we have with us Mr. Shrikant. Hello, Shrikant, welcome.
Hi, Alcha.
So, Shrikant, why don't you just walk us through the business understanding phase of this project?
Yes, Alcha. So this project is something related to a healthcare company which we have worked. So they have come up with a challenging business problem. So they are facing challenges in delivering timely and accurate medical information. So which we know, so the medical data, it's a huge data that we have, and getting that data accurately and providing to different sectors like physicians and patients, that's a difficult task. So that was the challenging task that we were working on. So objectives are mainly like they have a website, so we have to maximize the website traffic through chatbot engagement and maximize accessibility of healthcare information. So those are objectives that we have started with. There are certain constraints here, like resources so because it's a huge data, so resources were certain constraints, and data security, because once we build this chatbot, so people getting into this website and subscription, so the data security is something very important. So these are certain constraints that we have. And success criteria, so we have like business success criteria. So optimize chatbot interface for fast, accurate medical responses. So we aimed for 95% user satisfaction. That is something important. And then either it is a physician or a patient. So that is a bit difficult task there. So we need to achieve something like 95% user satisfaction. Then when it comes to success criteria, machine learning part, like 90% accuracy. So that is like minimum, like it's like almost because it's a healthcare data. So that is something very important. Then economic success criteria, like yeah. So these are estimates that we have given here, like achieve a $1 million increase in revenue while reducing operational cost by $500,000. So that was the success criteria.
All right. So thank you so much. So Shrikant, why don't you just explain about the chatbot that you have created here from a technical aspect? Like, how would it work? Can you just give us a general overview first of how it is going to work?
Yes. So this chatbot, when we have started with, we know that we require a huge amount of data. So we have chosen certain large language models. So we know that large language models are pre-trained models that we have, which deal with natural language. So we have tried with different large language models. So among that, one of the model is like GPT 3.5 Turbo, which is an open AI model, which contains all this information, but it's a subscription based service that we have here. So user comes with a query. So the biomedical chatbot that we have built here, so it creates certain embeddings. So which will be the information will be fetched directly from the OpenAI GPT 3.5 Turbo, and then the response will be given to the user. So that was one architecture that we have worked. Along with that, there are certain open source LLMs also we have worked. So which I have showed in the next slide that we have.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
please go ahead, please, Shrikant.
So here we have something called as Palm 2, which is a Google-based LLM model that we have. So here, what we have done, we have collected certain data from the client perspective. Along with that, we have collected certain data from ChatGPT. We have created synthetically certain queries and responses, which were tokenized, and we have used certain vector database, which where we have created vector embeddings, and then we have fine-tuned a base model. The base model that we have taken here is Palm 2. So from there, we have deployed it in Flask, where so when user comes with a prompt, so that will be created as embeddings again. So the proper search will be made into the vector database, and from there we are going to get the response. So that is the model architecture that we have followed here. Palm 2 is a open source LLM model. So we have used these two. And ultimately, when we have built this model, we have used GPT 3.5 Turbo. And still, we are working on this model actually. So we are using different open source models and we are trying to develop it more efficiently.
Okay. So, Shrikant, why don't you just walk us through some of these results that we see on the screen?
Yes, so this chatbot should give us the information about something like here I have given like medical conditions. So doctor notes we need to get. Okay, so when it comes to physicians, it has to develop doctor notes. It could provide us details on medical conditions, create reports on meetings, teaching and training schedules can be created, patient development, staff development, all these are different prompts that we can expect here. So that is the amount of information that we have here. And that's how we have created the chatbot. So for example, we can see the prompt that we have given is write a one-page referral letter for cancer patient. So it's for a physician basically. So we are getting the referral letter here. So one more example I have given in the next slide. Yes. So here we are trying to create a patient education pamphlet. So you can see here, which is no more than 300 words. And I want to know about diabetes and its treatment. So that's the information that we are trying to generate here. It's a text generation chatbot that we have created. So this way, any information about the medical or healthcare sector that we require, so that we can achieve with the help of this particular chatbot.
Hmm. Okay. So, thank you so much, Shrikant, for joining. So, before we sign off, I want to provide everyone with some context on what we as an organization offer. We offer you the opportunity to work on challenging real-time projects, similar to the one that we just saw. We give you the opportunity to learn about all the phases of the project methodology. We learn about the different tools that are used in the industry like Python, Power BI, etc. We learn about the research papers and how to get them published on international journals. And we'll give you access to various different free tools like the mind map, the ML architecture assistant, the resume mapper, and the animated learning. So that is all we have for us. That is all we have for today, friends. So again, thank you so much, Shrikant, for taking the time to join the session and walking everyone through the process.
Thanks, Aditya.
So please feel free to join us on our YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So from everyone here at 360 DigiTMG, have a great evening.